To be able to have an opportunity to do this with women was really special. And to put together a team that would be supportive and would understand the vision. And, it was really important that the vision be not one that was looking at Lee as an object or looking at Lee as the muse of Man Ray.
Hi, Ellen.
Alô, Jana, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien. ¿Y tú?
Bien, bien.
Bem, bem. Yeah, I'm from Brazil, actually. So we say,
You
tudo
are.
bem? Tudo bem?
No, I don't. I only know obrigado.
Obrigado, that's right.
That's the most important one, right?
Exactly, exactly. So, amazing movie, beautiful cinematography, beautiful costume design. I think Kate is amazing, but what I love the most about it, it's because everything is made pretty much by women. Directing, they have like script write, list, everything else is there is a lot of human involved. How important for you to be in a movie like this, to to direct a movie like this, and this is your director debut, right? On a feature.
Yeah, on a feature. Yeah, I directed a feature documentary, which I won the Emmy for and was nominated for. But coming to do a feature film was a huge privilege. I mean, any movie that gets done is a miracle. Let's put it that way. To have a movie which is a story about a woman, a period film about a woman, uh, made by women is certainly notable and unusual. And it was, such an honor for me to be able to, you know, lead the team through the mud, so to speak, and as well with Kate, because Kate Winslet, had thought of, I want to do this film about Lee Miller. And she was the one who invited me to come on because we are longtime friends. And she had been working on the script unbeknownst to me, even though we both knew about Lee Miller and had spoken about Lee Miller, because I always remarked how much she looked like Lee Miller. And also she resembles Lee Miller in terms of, this kind of tenacity and boldness and fierceness and, besides beauty. But to be able to have an opportunity to do this with women was really special. And to put together a team that would be supportive and would understand the vision. And, it was really important that the vision be not one that was looking at Lee as an object or looking at Lee as the muse of Man Ray, which, that was the thing that people would say, oh, Lee Miller, Man Ray. And I was like, no, we don't want to look at Lee Miller through a guy, through a man. That's not Lee. She wanted to be seen for herself and who she was, which is part of the reason why I think that she, stepped from in front of the camera to behind the camera to be able to take control of what she was seeing. And so to be able to bring audiences to a different point of view, to be able to see Lee and be with her, to hear her heartbeat, to literally hear her heartbeat in the beginning, to be with her as she's running through, the combat zone, but as well as to be with her as she witnesses, certain events that are, she herself saw. Lee was somebody who looked at the fringes around the combat. She looked at what was happening to people in the war. It wasn't just the soldiers who were fighting the war. The townspeople are affected by it. The women who were working for the war effort were affected by it and very engaged. And she knew this was important for us to see. And not only women in a fashions magazine, where she and Audrey Withers, who was the editor of British Vogue, were determined to bring the war stories to women in a fashions magazine, which is unheard of at the time.
Yeah.
The fact that they both were very progressive thinkers, and were very dedicated to the efforts of women, to seeing women seeing themselves in what was happening, and also to let them know what was happening in the war.
Yeah, yeah. I think she went to the glamour to the war, but in a so progressive, as you said, way, and she was very courage to do that. Like the
Yeah.
courage that she had was amazing, 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 amazing.
Well,
The
that Lee Miller, she was somebody, I mean, that courageous part of her enabled her to not adhere to the conventions. She was somebody who questioned convention. Like she says to Audrey Winther, why? Why can't I go? What's the difference? So I think that, she's somebody who's a very modern woman. She's That's why this story is also really important, because I think that people can connect with Lee on many different levels. Women can see her as someone who is a contemporary role model, like I did when I first knew about her. And I think that men can see the kind of emotional story that she goes to and connect with that. Even though she's a woman, I think everyone can connect with her in different ways.
Yeah, yeah, she's amazing. And also the cinematography. I know you're a cinematographer yourself, but it was so beautiful, so beautiful. And the music, the score made by Alexandre Desplat. Oh my
Mhm.
God, amazing. What was like the approach and the conversations with both of them, the cinematographer and the score, to get to the point that you got to the movie? I think was beautiful.
Well, as somebody who has made many films as a cinematographer, when being a director puts me in a unique position to be able to choose who I was going to use as a cinematographer. And many people ask me, who are you going to choose to shoot this movie? And, I know the work of Pavel Edelman, who is a Polish cinematographer who lives in Poland. Um, I've known his work for years. He did The Pianist with Roman Polanski. He also shot a film called Katyn with Andrzej Wajda, and also he did a film called Ray, which was really beautiful. And I know that Pavel had the sensibility as a person to be able to approach the cinematography in a way that was sensitive, but also very elegant, poetic beauty, which is what I was looking for. Um, and he had worked with Kate on two other movies as well. So it was good that it was part of the family. And so Pavel and I talked extensively um, when we first started talking about how we would approach the film, because I had very definite ideas about what I wanted to do for the point of view of the film to keep it so that it wasn't objectifying Lee, so that we would be with her, and how to use the camera in that way, as well as the blocking. And I I've always been very much involved in all aspects of that when I was a cinematographer. So it was really great to be able to talk to Pavel about what I wanted, and then to let him do all the technical part. so so we were very much in sync about that. And we spent hours and hours shortlisting together, to in the back of the hotel where we were staying, where there was always the Roma band was playing to the tourists. And they'd play for 20 minutes, and we would talk in the background, and then we would talk, and then the Roma band would play again. So we have very fond memories of that time in prep. And Alexandre Desplat is somebody who is a composer whose work I've collected for many, many years. I mean, I think I have every single one of his albums. And Kate and I had talked about, who could we possibly dream up as a composer? And it was Alexander who contacted us, because he had heard about the film, and he was a big Lee Miller fan. And I remember when we had a call with our first call with Alexander, Kate Winslet and myself and Alexander, and I was in LA, 6 o'clock in the morning, before I was about to go to direct a commercial. And Kate, I think, was in London. And, we were talking to Alexander, telling him about the story and about Lee, and he was telling us how much he loved Lee. And we didn't dare to even say, well, would you do this film? And it was right on our lips. And he says, I really want to do this film, right? And so Kate and I both burst out crying about at the same time. And so, I mean, someone like Alexander bringing his, gift of composition and he has a certain way of approaching that was very spare, and allows a lot of room for Lee and Kate to be able to, feel the emotion without telling us what to feel.
Yeah. And what was like your biggest challenge?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, that's always the challenge of, whatever you're adding to the story, whether it be sound effects or, the music, of being able to find the right balance and to have it, be restrained.
Amazing. Ellen, this is the time that I have with you. I just want to thank you so much for your time. Muito obrigada and a lot of success. And I hope everybody liked the movie. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jana. Obrigada.
De nada. Tchau, tchau. If you like to support or continue to support Jana on Camera, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share the videos.